Aliens Fireteam Elite is a bad game, and I can't stop playing it. It's a terrible game, but I think I like it, but it's dire. But I'm enjoying myself. But it's so broken, and yet I'm so compelled. Now, when I say this is a bad game, I truly, truly mean it. I do not recommend Aliens Fireteam Elite. No matter what else I say about it, I do not recommend it. It's completely fucked. It's really easy to make an aliens joke about it being a bug hunt, but it's absolutely not a bug hunt because you don't have to look very far. You could trip over and get a face full of glitch. Doors not opening, doors that are needed to progress in the level. Xenomorphs getting stuck under the floor. Guns not loading along with the player character, so you can't shoot. Xenomorphs freezing mid-pose and just standing there. A number of very genuine progress breaking, soft locking, frustrating bugs. Sometimes you just can't press forward. Often the game disconnects. You can't even leave a shared lobby without getting a network error. Like, that's just leaving a lobby and going to yours. You're still online, but you get an error message regardless. It's a frustrating as hell game to play. Levels are typically like 20 to 30 minutes long. I mean, I am just guessing that off the top of my head, but they're bloody long. The premise of this thing, by the by, is Left 4 Dead but aliens, and it can take longer than a Left 4 Dead level to beat one of these things, and yet you could lose progress at any time. Any time the connection could drop. Any time a crucial door might not open. There are so many bugs. Literally anything could happen to destroy your progress. Fortunately, most of the game's many fuck-ups are funny, sliding corpses, weird physics glitches, stuff like that. But the scariest thing about this game is what could happen to end a run. That doesn't include dying to Xenomorphs, like you would imagine would end most runs in a game featuring Xenomorphs. When The Sinking City first came out, I referred to it as the worst game I've ever liked, ? And I think it may have been superseded by Aliens Fireteam Elite. Now, I would recommend Fireteam Elite even less than The Sinking City, a game I do think over time I've grown to genuinely love, and I still can't recommend it to anyone.
Have you ever thought like this? How strange things happen? Are you going round a twist? Have you ever thought like this? How strange things happen? Are you going round a twist? Well, have you heard
ask you a question?
about the bird and the spider? It wiggled and wriggled and jiggled inside it. Well, have you ever thought like this? How strange things happen? Are you going round a twist? Have you ever felt like this?
Look, Aliens Fireteam Elite is a fucking shit game. I don't know why I like it. It's wasted so much of my time. And yet, it's also provided me a lot of questionable, admittedly, entertainment. So Fireteam Elite, Left 4 Dead but aliens, more or less. Well, I would compare it more to World War Z. It's a little bit different. There's more emphasis on the shooting aspect and on maintaining a sense of character progression between runs. The premise is simple enough. It's a third-person shooter and aliens throw themselves at you. You shoot them with guns. There's a pulse rifle. Sure, it's an aliens game. I don't know why I like it. It's so broken. And it's not like the combat, the controls, the gameplay itself is even all that great at the same time. It's bargain basement. It's the Dynasty Warriors approach to third-person shooting. But so much more rough around the edges. I don't even think this game has edges. And I know it can't be that it's because it's an aliens game. I know I'm not forgiving it. Well, I'm not forgiving it at all. The game is not forgivable. But I'm not having fun with it because it's aliens. Otherwise, I'd have liked Aliens Colonial Marines, and that game is fucking shite. God, I hate Aliens Colonial Marines. Speaking of which, one interesting thing about Fireteam Elite is that it actually seems to call back to previous Aliens games. There are references to Siegson from Alien Isolation, and you even encounter the Working Joes from that game. Meanwhile, the special Xenomorphs that turn up among the general swarms feature a few aliens that seem heavily influenced by the ones from Colonial Marines. And you fight those Xenomorphs across 9 levels of corridors connected to big rooms where there's plenty of space for the Xenomorphs to rush at you and crawl on the walls and ceilings. The aliens can often be frustrating to shoot and yet very satisfying to kill. They like to explode in big blobs of acid. They make a really nice popping noise when you get their giant phallic heads. The aliens intermittently spawn throughout a level to keep you moving, and there are various points within each level where you'll have a pitched battle against waves of them. As well as the rank-and-file runner aliens, there are variants such as the looming warrior alien that is very, very strong and takes a fuckload of bullets to put down, or the crusher alien that's very, very strong and takes a fuckload of bullets to put down, or the praetorian alien that's very, very strong and takes a fuckload of bullets to put down. There are some slightly more unique variants such as the prowler that jumps at you like a hunter from Left 4 Dead, the burster that bursts, and the spitter that spits. Players can choose one of a number of classes with their own special abilities, such as the gunner that is proficient with standard weaponry and can increase rate of fire and throw a grenade, or the engineer that carries a portable turret and can drop down electro balls that make enemies move more slowly. There's the doc, which is your general healing class, and that's the kind of character I like to play. I like to be a medic. I like to be helpful. And the doc, this is just a bit of a personal grudge. The doc class in this game is fucking rubbish. The healing station needs you to pick up medkits in order to refill it. None of the other classes have that. All their shit's on cooldown. I wouldn't mind, but the healing you get off the healing station isn't so great as for it to become overpowered if you just had it on a cooldown. It's the only class whose skills become 50% useless over time. Plus that class can't fight as well as any of the others. You can't shoot Xenomorphs with your fucking rifle when someone rolls up with a flamethrower or a smart gun. Sorry, that was a real tangent, but it actually can get frustrating if your class doesn't have better guns than the smart gun and someone rolls up and just shoots everything. One thing the game does do adequately is character progression. You earn experience at the end of each level, experience for you as a player, experience for your class, and experience for your guns. You can also unlock various weapon attachments to increase your strength and fighting capabilities. There are cosmetics to unlock as well, and the developers have promised no microtransactions, even though this game looks absolutely primed for them. There are random cards to unlock. I'll get to those in a minute. There is a vague live service feel to the whole thing. There's loot with emotes. And of course it is an online game. Daily and weekly challenges on top of that to keep you engaged. There are 2 currencies. Who has 2 currencies when it's all learned in-game? I mean, I'm sure some of you can rattle off examples now, but in a game like this, 2 currencies spells trouble. But to its credit, you don't have to grind massive amounts to buy certain things in the store. It didn't take me all that long to get the most expensive gun skin. The NPCs' mouths don't move in this game. They talk a lot, but their mouths don't move.
I have legs to move and hands to grasp.
Why don't you have a working face?
So I mentioned cards earlier. You can unlock these random cards while you play the game called challenge cards. Now, when you apply a challenge card to a level, you offer some new rule or you add some new bonus. Most of these cards are fucking annoying. There are some nice ones that only give you bonuses or rewards, such as extra credits or increased health, and then there are the ones that jam your gun every couple of bullets Yes, I said bullets. The ones where you've got to get through a level while taking no damage in a horde shooter. Yeah, I'm sure some people are able to do that one, but I've got that card and I'm never going to use it. What a waste of time. I don't mind the ones where you've got to do X amount of things in general, like certain amounts of headshots, kill a certain amount of synth enemies. But the extra XP or currency is not going to make up for a level where enemies deal twice the amount of damage. So most of the cards I have go idle. Plus, it might not even be worth spending them anyway because you're always at risk of your run being ended through a glitch. And when that happens, you lose the cards. They're one-time use only. I've lost cards because the game fucked up. I've seen other players lose cards because the game fucked up. God, this game is broken. This game is... If someone brings a flamethrower into a level, it's so annoying. It covers your screen in fire constantly. I don't know how the higher difficulty levels are even possible because they turn on friendly fire and you will be bathed in fire if a demolitions class comes in. Apparently, intense difficulty is the way this game's meant to be played, even though they've got a difficulty called standard. You'd think standard would be the way it's meant to be played, but I am not playing it the way it's meant to be played, apparently. I can't. Everything hurts you, and it hurts you a lot. I could just be describing life in general there. I think a combination of the progression and the weapon unlocks, plus the sheer mindlessness of the gameplay, has gotten me drawn in. And I won't deny that the Aliens flavour doesn't hurt the experience, speaking as someone who's a massive Aliens fan. I don't think that's the reason I tolerate this game's bullshit. But once tolerated, it makes the bullshit a little more fun for me. That said, I don't anticipate playing this game months from now. We have other horde shooters coming out, most notably Back 4 Blood, and at least on the version I've got on PS5, it doesn't seem like massive amounts of people are playing it to begin with. But for now, I'm playing the heck out of it. I can't quite tell you why, and I don't recommend it. But I like it. But don't get it. Even though I like it. Because it's not good. And yet I've enjoyed it. Interesting though that the rank and file Xenomorphs are runner aliens, whereas one of the specials is the warrior alien, and there's even a special called a drone. Normally in these games it's the warrior or the drone that would be considered the lower class enemy, while a runner alien would be treated as special. But I guess if you want that horde-style swarming, having the dog aliens running at you on all fours is the better option. And they do explain it story-wise with... Only I care about that.